Another positive, free rapid antigen tests will be made available for all Victorians with a disability from Saturday. 1 in 5 Victorians live with some form of disability, and for a portion of those people, if they were to get COVID, they're at risk of hospitalisation and severe illness. The federal government is now under pressure to match Victoria's pledge with a national program. Joining me live is disability advocate, former tennis star, Australian of the Year, the list goes on, Dylan Alcott. Great to see you. This seemed like that you could get this done pretty simply. You got all the messiness of government out of the way and just got things done.
It was, a bit of work that went into it, and it wasn't just me. A bunch of advocates all around the country have been asking for this for a while, but shout out to the Victorian government for putting their hand up and doing this first. I know WA can get free rat tests as well, but we really need a national footprint, as you said, for a portion of people with disability, not all people with disability, but a portion of them. If they were to get COVID, they're at severe risk of illness, hospitalisation. I've got a friend with a high-level disability. He needs to rat test every single person that comes into contact with him, because if he got COVID, it would be a really bad result. It could be fatal. So he's just been paying for them for months and months and months. And that's not fair, you know what I mean? And I think everyone would understand, that we support people with disability to get these. And, as I said, for Dan and the Vic government to put their hands up, and for every person in Victoria to be able to get free rat tests starting Sunday from any testing centre or their disability liaison officer, that's amazing. And I'm really hopeful that everybody right across the country in leadership positions follows suit, because, I want this not just to be in one state, but right across the country.
So what's the process then? So if they're free from Saturday in Victoria, if you are disabled, what do you need to show proof? How does it all work?
Yeah, look, I'm not in government, but
Okay.
I think if you're on the DSP or the NDIS, you just show proof of that, and you can go to any testing centre and get up to 20 a day. And the reason that is it's not just rat tests for the people with disability. You got to do your carers, support workers, family members that come into your house potentially. And you know what? This isn't for people who might be missing a foot, you know what I mean? Because, they probably don't need it as much as someone who is extremely immunocompromised or has an intellectual disability or whatever it is. So, we're hopeful that the people that really need it can get it. And I know there are also some people who might not be on the DSP and not on the NDIS, but have an immunocompromised disability. So if you have proof of your disability, go there, and hopefully we can sort those people out as well. As I said, there might be a few teething problems, but it's a great result for people in Victoria. And as I said, really hopeful that everybody right around the country follows suit.
You just told us about one of your mates who's immunocompromised, who, was buying so many a day and testing everyone he came into contact with. Is that a reality for hundreds of people?
Thousands of people right across the country. I'm talking for the 100,000 most disabled people in this country, they're still in lockdown. They don't want to leave their house. We're trying to get high-level PPE for these people with disability as well. They don't do anything, Laura, right? Because they're worried if they go outside, because there is a bit of COVID in the community and stuff, that it might be a life-ending choice. And I don't want to sound hectic and morbid, but it's just the reality, right? So if we can get these people high-level PPE and rat tests so they feel a bit safer, so they can go outside and start living their life, it's a no-brainer to me, you know what I mean? And I think it's a great an investment, and people would understand where, all our taxpayer money is going. I don't think many people would be like, no, I don't want to do that. I think a lot of people would support it when you think about it like that. And it's not people being hypochondriacs and stuff. It's just the reality. And I've got a consulting firm where we educate people about disability. We hire 50 consultants, and every single one of them has a form of disability. And we've got people in the boat that are like that are still only doing Zoom calls, don't go to the shops, don't go and do anything because they're worried. And it's fair enough that they're worried. And if we can ease some of those worries by, supporting them with tests and PPE and stuff and vaccines, well, then I think it's a good decision.
So in our everyday lives, Dylan, we're also in a rush, and me included, to get back to normal life. We don't want to wear masks. We want to see people's smiles behind the counter when we get a coffee. And I think that's, all fair enough, human nature, if you like. But what should we all think about when we move around the community with, 20,000 cases a day, for example, in New South Wales? Is there anything we can do to make people's lives, immunocompromised people, those living with a disability, a little bit easier at the moment?
For sure. And look, I'm happy we're opening up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, it's great that life's getting back into it, but as I said, for a lot of people in our community, it is a bit of a scary time. If you go out and wear a mask, you're helping everybody, right? Not just people with disability, because you're helping other people in case you are infected. The big things that I would say is, if you got symptoms, pretty please stay home and don't go out there and spread it, and also keep getting vaccinated, because that helps everybody in the community, stopping the spread, but also stops that high level of illness that people might get and then pass that on. But yeah, look, if you're somebody, I'm not telling anybody how to live their lives. Anybody can choose to do whatever they want to do, but wearing a mask, and that really does help the high level immunocompromised people, because there's less chance of obviously them getting affected. And the more masks they see, the safer they feel to get out there and live their life. But hey, everything's a personal choice. So anybody can do whatever they want to do.
Well, Australian of the Year, it is an election year. We're about to be in a campaign proper. What do we need to be asking both of these leaders, making them promise something on the other side of the election? What do you want?
Well, yeah, I wanted three things as Australian of the Year. First and foremost, free rats and PPE. We're getting there slowly, state by state. Secondly, is to guarantee a demand-driven, fully funded NDIS. And yes, that in the budget there was an increase in the NDIS. However, plans of people on the NDIS are dropping by 4%. People with invisible disabilities are getting their plans cut in half. People with like autism and stuff like that, right? Because there are more people on the scheme, but it's an investment in our country. Every dollar spent on the NDIS, $2.25 goes back into our economy as a positive. So I think obviously there is just money being spent in the wrong places for red tape and lawyers and all this kind of stuff. And the people with disability are actually the people that are losing out. And I would love, all sides of government, everybody, independents, everybody running to fully understand this and to try and fix it so the money is being spent in the right places, which is supporting people with disabilities. And my third thing is to try and create more employment opportunities for people with disabilities. I will say both sides of governments have been really supportive of this, and they want to see that, not so people with disability can get into more work, that'd be great, but more so that people with disability have a choice if they want to get into work, right? Just like anybody else. Some people with disability might never be able to work, but they deserve the choice to be able to get out there and get out and get in employment. But as I said, the first two are very pressing, you know what I mean? Because people are not getting the supports they need. They aren't getting what they need through the NDIS, which means they can't get out there and potentially even have a shower, Laura. It's that serious sometimes. And obviously with the protection to against what's going on in the pandemic, I don't want my mates sitting at home anymore for 2.5 years. I want them to get out there and start living life, and to have a bit more support is going to be huge, and so they can feel safer and start living their lives a bit more.
Well, we'll keep on keeping on, Dylan, with your help, absolutely. Before I let you go quickly, Ash Barty shocked us all a couple of weeks ago. What do you think she'll do next?
Oh, hopefully have a beer with me, to be honest.
Golf.
I think we deserve some retirement.
AFLW.
Oh, I have no idea, but I've got to say, I love her and I'm proud of her, and I think she's really happy, and all I care about is her being happy. So yeah. I've got no idea what's next, but as long as she keeps hanging out with me, I'll be happy.
Okay, well, enjoy. Tell us all about it soon, will you? We'll see you soon, Dylan.
We'll do it. You've been a big supporter of my Australia of the Year campaign so far, so I really appreciate it, Laura.
Yeah, anytime. Back on this program. We'll have you anytime you want. We'll speak to you soon.
See ya.